All right. So on the call shifts, and first of all, I wanted to point out as well the difference. So call shifts versus job board postings. Call shifts are going to be shifts that are on fire trucks. So when we need to staff for trucks, we're going to send those out as call shifts. If it's a special event, so like moving into the new station, football games, art in the park, fire in the sky, there's a bunch of them that are going to pop up. Those are going to be called job board postings. And really, there's not a lot of difference in those. You accept those, your ranking is going to move. But the difference is going to be the being able to select, when you guys auto accept or whatever, if you want it as a special event or not. Job board postings sometimes, most of the time, will probably be available to choose a lot longer out. So as soon as we start getting football schedules in, we may put those out, and it may be a couple months in advance for that. Let's see. I'm going to make sure I've touched on all the points. Oh, so we're going to go over to the My Shift tab now. On the My Shift tab now, you guys have the option. So scroll past today, Derek, to the next block. And let's go to maybe the 21st. I showed this a little bit earlier where you can pick your work type and auto accept, but there's also a blue tab there that says set as unavailable. If you guys set your days as unavailable, then as my understanding is, the call shifts will not reach you. So maybe you're going to go on vacation or something and you don't want to get daily text messages or whatever, you can click yourself as unavailable and not get notified. Now, we have an option on our end, shift commanders, to ignore availability. And I'm not 100% sure if the call shifts ignore availability or not. I'm thinking they might, but we can definitely, however you have it set, we can override it if we had to for an emergency recall, second alarm fire, something like that. But those are options where you might be unavailable. Again, not really tested. I can't tell you 100% how that works. You can close that out. I think the only thing I've got left really is to talk about accepting call shifts. So there's been a little bit of confusion. We've had some folks that have tried to accept and make themselves available on the job board or on the shift board, and they're not populating as available on the call shift. So the appropriate way to do that, so let's go to your dashboard. We showed you that once before. Click on it there as available or decline. You can get, he started to touch that eyeball. You can get a little more details if you want to about what the event is. And then the other way is, a lot of you probably are getting text messages. So Derek's going to pop up a screenshot here of what that looks like. This has been a confusing factor. I think if you click that arrow at the bottom, there you go. So you're going to get a text message that looks something like this. And you'll notice on there that it says, I'll pick the top one here, text 614117Y to accept. So hit reply to this text that you got, and you cannot just reply Y or N. You have to type in 614117Y or 614117N to reply or decline. If you type in Y or N and that's it, it's not going to notify us on our end, and you will not be a candidate for it. So I think that's one of the bigger problems that's been happening. Phone calls, I think you just hit 1 or hit 2 or something. I'm not 100% sure on those. Text messages seem to be the most popular. All right, and I think the only other thing I wanted to cover, I'm going to take the screen back now, Derek.
I'll hit stop sharing.
Fine. I'm going to go back to my end on a call shift. So when we set these up as shift commanders, so these are all the previous call shifts we've done. Some of them are, these are the job board postings active still on there. You guys, I think, can see all of this stuff as well. The ones are still active. You can click these. You can see who's the candidates or not on here. Your ranking is listed off to the side. Now this particular one, Let me back this one up. This one's a global one that's got all ranks on it. We've got some that are, this one is, you can see these are rank specific. So captain one, engineer. So if I click the eyeball, it's got all the rankings over here of all the engineers, and this is just engineers. But these that are global, that'll say call shift, this is one way that we may send these out, maybe especially in the morning. There's a global ranking on here that lists everybody in order across ranks. However, when the selection happens, for us as shift commanders, if we need, we're gonna use this feature probably a lot if we need multiple ranks. If I need an engineer and a captain in the same day, it'll probably come out like this, and then we're gonna manually award these. So when the time comes, if the deadline has passed, and let's say I've got more than Sarkar here, I've got several of them, it will put them in order of their position ranking, and then I will manually click this button to accept him, and take him. And then I'm going to scroll down until I find the top engineer, and I'm going to wherever the next engineer would be, and then I'm going to come over here and accept them as well. So that's one way that you may see these pop out. This is the screen. It's irrelevant to you guys on what it looks like, but the way they go out, we pick a qualifier, and I can send this out to just get an engineer if I wanted to. And then it goes through the tiered system, which is what we've practiced and had a lot of tests with. It'll send it to engineers at a certain deadline. It'll scroll on down to the next tier for firefighters. If it hits that deadline, it'll go to captains until it's over with. This other option that we may start using a little more of is this call shift special event. We have a rule for an immediate fill need, and what this does is it sends to all ranks that are selected here, which our ranks are not only captain, engineer, but we have firefighter 1 and 2, and then we have to throw in the training and safety captains because of how people are listed in here. So it's going to go to all of those, and then we'll manually award. The final way that we may try some on soon to do some testing is on the shift board. So if I go to my next shift date and I look down here, and let's say we haven't updated this yet, but let's say that it's updated and I know I need a ladder 2 engineer, I can click this button and initiate a call shift from there. And it's gonna have it identified as the ladder 2 engineer spot. We're gonna do our best to honor that. If you sign up for the ladder 2 engineer spot and you're an engineer, you're probably going to get that. But understand that if I get a captain at this point, if an engineer doesn't sign up and it tiers down and I get a captain, then I'm probably going to move you to a captain seat somewhere. So it's not going to be 100% unless it's rank specific, but that may be another option that we do and try. So I hope this answered some questions. I'm always available. Try your battalion chiefs first if you can, and then certainly shoot me an email if you have questions. I've fielded several of them. We're working through this as fast as we can just to make it streamlined and efficient, and I think we will get there. It's a pretty impressive system and what it does and automation-wise. And then the fact of filling shifts ahead of time so everybody can plan, not just us as shift commanders, but you guys as personnel. You know, you get a text message from me today saying I need constant staffing 4 days, 5 days out my next duty day. You guys can fill that and plan for it and plan with your families and then treat it just like a normal shift. I will tell you that if you accept a shift, if you are awarded a shift, then that becomes your shift. No different than if it was your duty day or if it was a trade time. That's going to be your shift. And if there's a reason that you can't do it, then you know, you need to make other arrangements, trade time or whatever that's going to look like, because when you're awarded that shift, it becomes yours. And that's, again, that's for the planning purposes of that, giving you the benefit to plan a few days out or however far we can. All right, I think that's it. I'm going to shut it down. We've been at this long enough. It's probably a little longer than I wanted to be already. So let me know if you have any questions, and thank you all much.